Hey, artists, pack up your shit, because haven't you heard AI is replacing all of you? At least, that's what everybody seems to be saying. It's really easy to get caught up in the panic of it all, but that doesn't mean it's true. In fact, I've noticed three really big indicators that make me pretty optimistic that artists like myself, like you probably, are still gonna be needed for a long time to come. The fact is, AI art doesn't even have to get as good as human art in order to replace us. All it has to do is convince the human artists that it's worthless to create art, and we can't let that happen. So today I'm inviting you to take a breath, zoom out, and we're going to look at this whole AI crisis from a little bit different of a perspective. Okay, number one, the extrapolation fallacy. So every time I have a conversation with someone who has been, for lack of a better term, they seem to say the same thing. If I say AI still can't do natural human speech, they say it gets better every day, it's only a matter of time. If I say AI still can't convey actual emotion, they say it gets better every day, it's only a matter of time. If I say AI still isn't capable of doing actual original ID, it gets better every day, it's only a matter of time. And there's literally no way to argue against this because it's in the future, anything can happen. We're arguing against something imaginary. But that's why I want to bring up the extrapolation fallacy. And this is a mistake that pretty much every single human makes, including me. It's literally hardwired into our brain. So let's break it down. Humans love to understand things. That's how we got so far along in this world. Evolution literally designed our brains to crave understanding. And sometimes we crave understanding so much that we oversimplify things to give ourselves the illusion of understanding something. And the clearest way to see this, extrapolation. Extrapolation literally means you're seeing a trend moving in a specific direction, and so your brain fills out that it'll keep moving in that direction forever, because that's the most likely scenario. And we assume this with everything. I mean, let's look at some recent history, recent presidential elections. In 2008, Obama wins. Everyone's saying, whoa, look, the Democrats have an unbeatable advantage. We have this majority-minority population that keeps voting for us. Minority populations are only going to continue to rise. Republicans are locked out forever. We won. Then we know what happened next. Let's look at what people thought during other huge technological shifts. First of all, the space race. So, in the 60s and 70s, we were starting to go into space. We reached the moon for the first time, and people were super optimistic about it. People assumed that in a matter of decades, we'd be visiting Mars, Jupiter, or even getting out of the solar system altogether. Because at the time, that's where the trend seemed to be going. We went from not being able to leave the planet to being able to leave the planet. So it's natural to assume that we're just going to keep growing and that trend will continue forever. Now, obviously, that didn't happen because turns out leaving the solar system is way harder than getting to the moon. But that doesn't change the fact that everyone at the time of that original moon landing assumed that this technology would allow us to keep growing forever. It's the same thing with the invention of cars. When that happened, people started thinking about the future, and everyone envisioned in 50 years, we're going to have flying cars everywhere. And that makes sense to the human brain because it's a natural extrapolation. So I'm saying all this to show you that when humans are in the midst of a huge technological shift, we have really solid assumptions of where it's going to go. And yet, we're almost always wrong. So now, with AI, since everyone's saying it gets better every day, it's only a matter of time. But reality is really messy, really complicated, and doesn't always like to follow the trends humans have in their mind. Alright, the second thing that's given me hope about this is the generational rift. So another thing that the AI fanatics love to say is that this is just like other technological revolutions, where the people who resist it are just Luddites who won't embrace change and won't embrace progress. But there's something different about this AI situation. I've noticed this mostly in my own experience, but there has been polling to back this up. And it seems like older generations are much more willing to accept this technology. I've heard a lot of boomers and even older millennials just kind of be like, well, this is what it is now. We just have to sit back and accept it. But people in my generation and even younger than me are usually actively against AI. And this is really different. Think about in the internet. It was young people who were excited about it and older people who were resistant to it. This time, It's the young people who are not embracing this technology. And guess what? We're the future. So what we decide to embrace will shape the world over the next coming decades. All right, and the third and final and perhaps most indisputable thing that's making me optimistic about AI is that humans are a really narcissistic species. And that's a good thing. And people who think AI will replace artists tend to forget this. And what do I mean by this? Well, let's go back to 1996. This is a time when people were also worried about computers being smarter than humans. Because for a long time, the benchmark of whether a computer could outsmart a human was whether it could beat it in chess. And so, in 1996, the world chess champion, Garry Kasparov, engaged in a chess match against a computer program, Deep Blue. And guess what? Deep Blue won. Now, this was a huge, profound shift. For the first time, we realized humans would never be able to beat a computer in chess again. And so, people stopped playing chess and the game was completely forgotten. Oh, wait, I just looked it up. That is not true. Chess is actually bigger than ever right now. So why do we even still play chess if we know that the human chess world champion will never be able to beat a computer? Well, that's because we care about human achievement. Nobody wants to watch two computers play chess against each other. Where's the drama in that? We like to see humans excel at something because it means our own species, something we're a part of, did something amazing. It's the same reason nobody really cares if you drive 26 miles, but people will come out in droves for a marathon. So even though robots are indisputably the best chess players in the world right now, we still have chess competitions. And this is what the AI bros forget about art. I think they see it as it's a form of distraction. But what it really is a way to connect with our fellow humans. Our favorite movies, the ones we keep coming back to over and over again, we feel the emotion of the creator because they put it into the art and the art gives it to us. So at the end of the day, the only way AI will actually replace artists is if artists stop making art altogether. And this is a good thing because guess what? We're the artists. We have the power to decide whether we're going to stop making art or not. So this means double down. We got to make our art more genuine than ever. Put all of our heart into it because that is the one thing AI cannot compete with.
The end is inevitable, Maverick. Your kind is headed for extinction.
Maybe so, sir. But not today.
It gets better every day. It's only a matter of time.